What is going on, YouTube? Joe Donahue here, bringing you Clean Coal Endurance Series Season 2, Race 7, the Mats Race News Grand Prix. We're at Laguna Seca. In the real world, the Indy Lights are at Laguna Seca this weekend as well, and they're wrapping up their championship. The DTM Support Series wrapped up their championship here. Highlights in a moment. Nobody is alongside of me. I was supposed to have Mr. Cuppy 3 here, but he is not. I can't really get anybody online either because it's kind of early in the morning for people to be awake on Saturday. It's filmed Saturday, obviously. That's what's happening here, but that's okay. I'm home alone. Thank God I can actually talk and make noise, and that's good for you. So, our pole sitters today are going to be the number 1 of Kyler Boggs not alongside, my bad. Kyle Thomas will be the pole sitter in GT. The Clean Coal Sports Series wrapped up their championship today, earlier before this race, and we're ready to go to those, and then we will run through the complete starting lineup right before the race. A 6-lap race today to finish off the DTM Support Series. As you see, Roberto Merhi, who won last time, is the pole sitter, or was the pole sitter, I should say. Christian Vittoris on his inside. Matt Faust in third, coming into the first turn. Merhi held him back. Matt Faust wanted to get into second, but Vittoris held him off for the time being out of the first 2 turns, I guess. Those are 2 turns. Not really, whatever. This is California. Roberto Merhi leading by about 2 car lengths at this point in the first lap. As you see at the back, it was a little bit more intense than at the front. Skip ahead to the same lap the first time through the corkscrew. Thought it's a good place to watch race cars because it is, you see a lot of it. It's good. Look at that. That's pretty. So later on in the run, Mike Rockenfeller here making a pass on Jamie Green. And Roberto Merhi managed to hold the lead. Matt Faust at this point is past Vittoris. Later on, Mike Rockenfeller's continuing to make passes. He passes Merhi, and he goes for the lead on Matt Faust. And look what happens. A little bit of contact. Matt Faust gets loose, has to check up, and goes from first to third because of Mike Rockenfeller getting a little bit aggressive with him. Here we come down the final time through the hairpin. Nothing happening throughout the race. Mike Rockenfeller coming to the line to win the support series for Clean Coal. First time for Mike Rockenfeller. The rest of the field coming by. Matt Faust had lost more time because of his incident. By the end of the race, he was in 5th, so still got a top 5 for Faust Racing. And now, it is time for the big reveal. Who won the championship? Due to how well he's been doing consistently, your champion for Season 1 of the DTM Sport Series is Reinadel 3016. Congrats to the entire Audi Playboy number 21 team. Hopefully you enjoyed Clean Coal. Congratulations once more to Reinadel 3016. Your starting lineup, we are doing a standing start because the cars can't manage a rolling start. I don't know, these guys just aren't, I don't know, whatever. Kyler Boggs on pole. Starting second, Mr. Cuppy 3, Graham Riley, Weston Miller, David Land, Chris Aurelio, Kyle Thomas, Ed Jones, Matt Faust, Ian Perez, Brian Flair Jr., and Kenneth Bueno. That is the lineup for today's race. And Kyler Boggs getting ready for the green. We got about 5 seconds. A 9-lap race. We should see pit stops. That may play a factor for the Toyotas in the field, who are very good with fuel economy. And we're racing here at Laguna Seca. Leading off the bat, Kyler Boggs, Mr. Cuppy 3. They come down into turn number 1. It's a battle between all of the makes in prototype as wow, the Audis are going. Jeez. This may be a one-sided argument by the Audis here. That's a surprise because of how well the Porsches have been doing all season. That's not as important as, wow, look at Ed Jones. That field is tight. It's a shame that the Corvettes have been doing so poorly, I guess, but it's whatever it is. I don't know. Ooh, bleh. Side by side for the lead, Mr. Cuppy 3 is your new leader in prototype. Graham Riley is starting to get a run up the hill, coming to one of the world-famous portions of racing in America, I guess, rather than just the circuit. The corkscrew, here we are. That was beautiful. So now we will wait the GT field. Ed Jones leading, Matt Faust in second. Clean through here. And we'll jump back up with the prototypes. Mr. Cuppy 3 leading the way. The prototypes are very quiet. Oh, David Land almost went off, but not quite. Mr. Cuppy 3 leads the first of 9 laps to be completed here. The Matt's Race News Grand Prix, like I said. Matt's Race News, if you don't know what that is, Matt Faust, who's actually driving the BMW right now, does a show, sort of like a Sports Center type deal, of all of the racing on YouTube, except he only really does my stuff, and he's been slacking recently because of school, and that's understandable, you know, everybody, a lot of people who are watching this anyway, not everybody, are in school. David Land's probably smirking because he's out of, and so is Robbie. I don't know, Robbie probably didn't watch. Hey, let's talk about race cars. Okay, so we got Ian Perez here in the Falcon number 17, leading the 2 Corvettes at the rear of the entire field, the rear of the GT field as well. Tough to say which car is faster, although Brian LaFleur Jr. tried to make a pass and it didn't work. Kenneth Bueno might make it around his teammate. He does not. Like David Land said at Kyalami, the 2 Corvettes do not really race each other like teammates. They sort of race each other like competitors. So, tough to say. Ooh, Kenneth Bueno might make a pass here. It's tough to say how they're going to hold up to the end of this one. Matt Faust trying to look for a lead, the lead of GT, and he does not get it there. Ed Jones manages to pull that one off. Kyle Thomas started on pole. He's dropped 2 positions, but he might try to get one of them back right here. Yes, he does. He's going down the inside of Matt Faust. One of the best sounding race cars, in my personal opinion, anyway. Oh, Ian Perez is going to go make it 3 wide, almost, down the front stretch. Kyle Thomas can't quite make that pass on Matt Faust there. And there he goes. Wow, he got low on the apron. Kyle Thomas making that pass right there. And we have a new 2nd place driver in GT and maybe a new 3rd place driver in GT too. Look out for Ian Perez. Good racing in GT as we are very early in the running of this one. They look good. They sound good. What more could you want from a race car? So, let's jump back up to prototype. The field is tight, but it's still biased towards the Audis. Ooh, maybe not. Who's leading? It's Kyler Boggs back into the lead. If he wins, that would be the first win for Kyler Boggs. It would not be the first win for Audi, but that's okay. Mr. Cuppy 3 in 2nd. Ooh, the Toyotas and the Porsches side by side. They're 2 by 2 by 2. Yeah. Graham Riley on the inside of his teammate. I don't know if the car's loud enough. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Although the prototypes are very quiet race cars. Ed Jones is still controlling the GT field, as he will complete the 3rd lap of them to be completed for the GT. I did this stupid. Okay. Well, that was funny. So, let's talk about Brian LaFleur Jr. a second here. He is leading out of the 2 of the Corvettes in points. He was doing really well at the beginning of the season. He's kind of dropped back in the championship, as you may be able to understand from the way they're running right now. I think Ed Jones is leading the championship. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, Brian LaFleur Jr., he's going to have to look for a big performance at his home race at Watkins Glen next time, in the season finale will be next week. Everybody wants to win it. Everybody wants to win that championship. We'll see. Only time will tell, as we will jump back up to the front of the GT field with Ed Jones leading the way. Kyle Thomas looked like he had a bad entrance into the corkscrew there. I don't know if that's going to hinder his performance down the hill here to the start-finish line. Doesn't look like it. And Ed Jones is continuing to lead. Let's jump back up to prototype. It's spread out a little bit. Mr. Cuppy 3 is catching his teammate. We might see a pass for the lead coming up soon. Mr. Cuppy 3, you can see with the brake lights, he braked later than Kyler Boggs by a little bit, and that's going to help him get some time back on his teammate coming up the hill to the corkscrew. 2 Audis running 1 and 2. 3, 4 are the Toyotas, and 5, 6 are the Porsches. Pass for the lead. Not quite. Kyler Boggs holds his teammate back for this time. Oh, that sounded like the Toyota got a little loose coming through the corkscrew, but it didn't actually happen that way. My question is, when are pit stops? Oh, never mind. Kyler Boggs into the pit lane. First taker for... Whoa, almost spun it coming into the pit lane there. So we have a new leader, and our first pit stop of the day goes to Kyler Boggs. Let's take a peek. That went the wrong way. At Ed Jones once more, leading the way in GT. We'll see if anybody in GT wants to take up on the opportunity to pit early. Although I think we're a little too early. He might end up oh, never mind. We're at dead halfway once they come past the stripe here, so I think we'll be fine. Ed Jones leading. No takers in GT. Let's jump on board with, can you work for me, please? I would appreciate it. Let's jump on board with Matt Faust. So that's what it looks like from the roof cam of Matt Faust's car. That's a big Aston Martin. I said that before. You get it? Hopefully you get it. If you don't get it, that's okay. Let's look at the prototypes and see if anybody pitted more. Nobody pitted this time by for prototype. Here's Ed Jones coming into the corkscrew. This is from the top view. Last year in the TE Connectivity Cup Series, there was contact right there. And Sir John the Fourth, no, that was Sir John the Third, I believe, went for a little ride. Ed Jones coming down the hill. We'll see if any of the GTs pit this time. Doesn't look like it. So I don't know what Kyler Boggs was thinking. He pitted way early, I guess. But that's okay. It'll probably cycle through. This is just a perfect amount of time that I think the Toyotas may make it. I'm not sure. We'll see when it's over. How many of them? There's Mr. Cuppy 3 coming into the pit lane. Any other takers in prototype? That is a negative. Everybody in GT is still out there. So, let's talk about next time a little bit, as we're on lap 6 of 9, never mind. Next time will be a 16-minute long race. I'm not sure who's going to be with me. It's either going to be Mr. Cuppy 3, Matt Faust, or both of them. Not 100% positive. Yeah, there will be these 12 cars, and it'll be the home race for Brian Flair Jr. It'll be my home race, even though I'm not racing. It'll be Matt Faust's home race, and Ed Jones' home race. Not sure about Kyle Thomas, where he's from. Not sure about Kyler Boggs. Mr. Cuppy 3 is in the pit lane. I think he might be having his home race. Graham Riley, same. Weston, definitely not. Chris Aurelio, no. And David Land is a negative, I think. So that's how that's going. Mr. Cuppy 3 just coming out of the pits right now, getting passed by the GTs, who Ed Jones... still no takers in GT. That's concerning for the 2 Audis. And no takers in prototype this time. White flag in the air for Graham Riley, who's leading his teammate, Chris Aurelio, and David Land. Unfortunately, I don't know what's wrong with these Audis. They just don't have the fuel economy that the rest of the field does, which is very, very unfortunate. You know, it's just not good. But a Toyota might win for the first time since the very first race of the season. And it may be Weston Miller, as you see him fighting hard with his teammate. I do want to check and see. Mr. Cuppy 3 managed to get out in front of the GT field. I guess we got a little while to wait before we figure out if any of them take up on pit stops or not. because here comes Weston Miller. Here he goes on the inside of his teammate. Graham Rowley is not going to let him have it easy. And Weston Miller makes a pass on his teammate for the lead on the last lap here. Graham Rowley still got plenty of time to make that pass back. Let's see if he does it. Weston Miller got a little bit wider run through that turn than Graham Rowley did. Up the hill, they are 4 in a row. Look out for David Land on the inside. Graham Rowley not going to take it this time. 2 wide in the back with the 2 Porsches. Chris Aurelio holds his teammate back. Graham Riley losing time on Weston Miller. Coming down the hill the last time. Graham Riley losing time. Weston Miller is leading. Coming through to the final hairpin of the race. Weston Miller just got to make it clean, and it looks like he's good to go. No takers in GT for pit stops. Not really important. Weston Miller coming to the line, going to win his 2nd race of the season for Toyota here at Laguna Seca. Solid performance by the Toyotas today as we've got to check in. Mr. Cuppy 3 coming along. No trouble. Kyler Boggs. Ed Jones is leading by a lot over Kyle Thomas. I said that weird. And Matt Faust. Ian Perez leading the 2 Corvettes. The field of GT has not really had much in terms of variance throughout the course of this race. Here's Ed Jones. There's 2nd and 3rd, Kyle Thomas, Matt Faust. Matt Faust looking on the inside. Not quite going to make it that time. Up the hill for the final time. Look at Kyle Thomas. He got off a little bit. This is a weird camera angle to see the race cars. Kyle Thomas coming through the corkscrew. Good to go. Still in front of his teammate. Not his teammate. Still in front of the BMW. There's no oh, God damn it. Coming through to the little sweeper. I like that little sweeper. It's a fun place to race. For the final time, into the hairpin. Matt Faust, is he going to make the pass? He does not take the opportunity. Ed Jones going to come down the front straight away. Everybody looks like they're going to stay where they are in terms for GT. Ed Jones is your winner. And I believe we have had the leader winner, the Toyota, run out of fuel coming up the back straightaway, or maybe he had a crash. What the? So that's Weston Miller. Graham Riley, probably similar situation. There's Mr. Cuppy 3. We'll wait for everybody to get into the pit lane, and then we will... Wow, easy, Mr. Cuppy. Jesus Christ. Alright. So your final order today, Weston Miller is the winner. Congratulations, 2nd win of the season. Graham Riley finishes 2nd. That's a very solid performance for the team Toyota. Chris Aurelio in 3rd. He beat his teammate. That doesn't happen very often for Chris Aurelio, but it happened today. David Land gets 4th. 5th place is Mr. Cuppy 3. And in 6th, Kyler Boggs. Getting the win today in GT is Ed Jones, who is the new championship leader in class. 2nd place in GT, Kyle Thomas. Getting 3rd, Matt Faust. 4th place, Ian Perez. 5th place, Brandon Flair. And 6th is Kenneth Bueno. I can't really sing, but I can talk fast. Thank you for watching the Clean Coal Endurance Series Season 2, Race 7. Next time will be the finale at Watkins Glen. It's probably my favorite racetrack on Earth. And we'll see you there.